wave. Wave. Come on. Yeah. Wave. Wave. Come on. Castle. Good job. I know.
After a touchdown, which would be awesome. Personal visit with Dubs, head trainer Annalise Nilsson. So lots of great things going on, and don't forget to get your entries in for our heads or tails game. We have staff and band members moving around the room right now with Husky Beats, so just let them know how many entries you like. All right, so that's what's on the docket for tonight. We're doing great food here as well, but we're all here for the band and the cheer squad, so let's start with the band and get this party started, guys. Without further ado, the Husky Marching Band. 2, 3, 4.
Go,
that performance right there. You know, I'm incredibly excited about the future of Husky athletics with the move. And it's so evident to me what a crucial and important and vital role the marching band and the cheer squad play in that. So let's support them tonight here with this event. So excited to get it started. All right, again, we've got the silent auction underway. It's going on right now. Again, the items are up against that wall. They're also up against the glass windows over there. Check them out. Coming up later, we're going to hear from head football coach Kalen DeBoer is going to be here, along with basketball associate coach Will Conroy and volleyball head coach Gabriel. So, yeah, it's going to be a good event tonight. We want to really say thank you to Ravenna Catering for being our dinner this evening. Ravenna Catering does a phenomenal.
It's only 1,400 people. It's not 1,600 people. Oh, thank you so much, Tony. Thank you for being here, everybody. I know for some of you, maybe your first time. For some of you, you've been here many times. I know some of you have been here on times that have been special moments for Janie and I. I know 1 year, or actually twice, it fell on our anniversary, and Janie's never let me forget that. 1 year, you remember I had to dash out early because we were having birthing classes that night, and she decreed that I would not miss that night. So thank you so much for being here so many times. This is our 21st year, and there's some other people out here I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce to all of you. Of course, a gentleman who's donated a wonderful signed package tonight, and he's going to take you along with him to the President's pregame brunch. And then we've got game tickets in there for you. Thank you, Dow Constantine. Thank you, appreciate that. And let's see, where is he? Okay, I see him back here. You know, Husky Band prepares you for a lot of great things in life. And we have literally alumni from all over campus working at different facilities, but a gentleman I'm really proud of to introduce you tonight was a member of the Husky Band trumpet section. And he is getting ready to retire after 30 years at the head of the UW Rehabilitation Medicine Department. Congratulations and thank you. Peter, would you please, Peter Esselman, everybody. You can tell me later on how playing trumpet prepared you for that position. I'm not quite sure about that. You know, when the band is in the athletic department, both band and spirit is assigned to an administrator, an athletic director, and we are so blessed to be reporting to a gentleman that is only in his second year, but Jamal Walton came from back east, played football at College of Charleston, worked at Alabama, but from the moment he got here, you know, I like to see the look on his face when Jen said, oh, by the way, you're going to be overseeing the band and cheer squad. He's probably like, what? But Jamal has just dived in and been so interested in finding out all he can about the Husky Band and the cheer squad, and it's just a real privilege to be able to report to him. Jamal Walton, is Jamal here yet? I know he's going. There he is, right back there. Thank you, Jamal. So this fall, we've got some special treats for everybody. I'm not going to divulge all of the halftime shows, but you know, we take such pride, especially in our Veterans Day show. And this year, the show actually falls on Veterans Day. Cool. So we're going to do something that has never been attempted in Husky Stadium. And I hope you're all there to experience it because it's going to be pretty special. We are going to do a card stunt. Now, I remember that they used to do a card stunt, but that was back before there was the upper deck of the stadium and all that. We are going to do a card stunt that is going to cover the entire north end of Husky Stadium. It's never been attempted in the stadium before, both lower deck and upper deck. We're going to do an American flag, and it's going to say thank vets and everything. We've got a company coming in to help us do that. We certainly hope that the Utah fans will buy into it because they're going to be up there as well. So, but if it comes off like we think it's going to be something really special. Now, if your seats are over here on the south side of the stadium, you get to enjoy the effect of the card stunt. But that's something that we're really looking forward to this season. As Tony mentioned, there's a lot of great things that this event helps fund over the course of the season, particularly helping to support our operational budget. But I want you to give you an idea of this year, what we especially need your help on. We've got a large freshman class coming in, they're going to be fabulous, but a lot of them, many of them are not from the Seattle area. They're not only from outside the area, they're from outside the state. So because we're on the quarter system, they have to come back 2, 3, or in the case of last season, 4 weeks prior to football starting. And many of them don't have a place to stay. And so we arrange for them to move into dorms early. Sometimes we put them up in the Silver Cloud. But we estimate that we are going to be spending close to $60,000 on providing housing and meals for the band just prior to classes starting. So tonight, that's what we're really going to dedicate a lot of the funds that we raise tonight is helping with their housing and meals prior to classes starting. So everything that not everything, but the great majority of what you'll get tonight, that's going to be what we're going to be giving it toward, is helping support them during that month of September before classes start. So again, thank you everybody, and really appreciate you being here. I'm going to turn things back over to Tony.
She's now the head coach of the Dogs, and while a lot of Dog fans look up to a former quarterback that played here around 2000, named Marcus Tuiasosopo, he looks up to this woman, who will forever be his big sister. Please give a warm welcome to the head coach of the Volleyball Dogs, Leslie Gabriel.
How excited I am to be here tonight. When Brad asked me, I believe it was in the middle of the summer, would you come speak at our event to some former band members and alumni, and I said, for sure I'll be there. I can't tell you guys how much joy, excitement that you guys brought to me as a student athlete. You guys made my experience, and I think you guys make the experience for every student athlete, the fans that are in the stands, just a really great one. And I want to just say thank you, and thank you for letting me come here and express this to you guys. The beginning of my speech, I have, it says, can I just say I love the band? My players love the band, and our fans love the band. And if any of you guys come to volleyball matches, before every match, before we start playing, we have a friend of the program. His name is Jim Portugal. And he'll stand up right before we play, and he'll look at the band, and he'll say, "We love the band!" And then the band will look back at him and will say, "We love you!" And he just starts laughing, and he just loves it. And the people around him love it. But the cool thing about that is, there was a match that he wasn't there. And I remember standing on the sidelines, and I was hearing some chitter chat with some of the players on my team, and I'm like, what's going on here? We're getting ready to play a match. And they're like, no, you do it. Should I do it? Oh my gosh. No, you do it. Should I do it? Am I getting into it? And I'm like, what's going on here? So I tried not to pay attention so I wouldn't get frustrated before a match. And then all of a sudden, Olivia Nicholson, who was a backup setter for us, she turns around, she's on the sidelines, we're getting ready to play. She looks at me and she goes, "We love the band!" And the band looks at her and they're just thrilled. And they said, "We love you!" And can I just tell you, that just made her day, and it made the rest of my team. It just made their night. Just your guys' love and passion for them. And so, I just love sharing that story. It makes, just warms my heart in knowing that. But college, you've heard it. We've already said, college athletics would not be the same without the band. The band generates so much excitement, hype, and team spirit for everyone in attendance. I I mean, I just walked up and out of the elevator, and the band started playing right away, and I'm just dancing and moving and doing it, and I'm just like, but it's those songs that they play that unite all of us and give us that feeling inside of us of, this is Husky Athletics. This is who we are. And bow down. We are here. And it's just, that's what you give us. And that's what you give the fans when you're here. As a player, you need to know that I felt like you were an extension of the team. I'd be fired up to see them, the band, at every home game. I loved it when you played Tequila, and I always loved it when you played our fight song. But the times that I remember the most is when you guys would make the special trips on the road. And there were a few times when we were on the road at the same spot as football. And administration, or maybe it was Brad, would make the decision of, hey, let's go surprise the volleyball team. And it was really cool. And there's one moment that I have to share with you that was really, really cool. And we were at Oregon. Well, if you're gonna do this at places, you're gonna do it right at Oregon, and you're gonna do it right in Pullman. And we were in Oregon, and I remember I was a player. I think I was a player, maybe I was a coach. I'm kind of getting old when I mix up all my memories. But what I can tell you is what I felt. We were in their small gym, their old one, not the new arena, and so it was tiny. And a lot of the fans sat close to the floor because the stands up were really steep. And for whatever reason that weekend, the decision was made that the whole marching band was coming to that event. And I remember right before the match, I looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, look at all the people sitting in the steep seats, holy moly. And I didn't really know who it was because no one tells us anything. And I believe we were on the end lines, and I remember all of a sudden, the band came out and they went, bow down to Washington. I mean, it was the loudest I had ever, I thought the walls were going to come falling down. It was so loud. And I can tell you what, all my teammates, we stood up, our chests got bigger, and we're like, oh yeah, we're ready to go. Not only do you have to beat us, we just kicked your band's ass. The band inspires a lot of people, and I just talked about how they inspire and fire up our players, but they also excite and make for a fun atmosphere for our players' families, their friends, and for our program. And you guys get the young fans, the old fans excited. In fact, last year, I don't know if you saw on social media, we caught one of our parents dancing in the handicap section that we highlighted in the thing. But I'm grateful that we have a great band here at UW. A group that is passionate about what they do and their love for the band and for UW Athletics. And I can't tell you, our volleyball team, we have our first match September 7th versus Memphis, and we're excited to join with you guys on that day. As they mentioned, I'm a new head coach, so there's going to be a lot of new faces on the sidelines this year. I've hired 3 great assistants. One is a former player, Justice McGraw. Is back on staff. Hardy Woldridge, he was on staff with us in 2018 as a volunteer coach, so he's back as an assistant coach. And then we have Mike Bernstein, who's new to Seattle, and he loves it. We also have some new faces on our team. We have 13 players on our team this year. 7 are returners and 6 are new people. And so right now, I just actually hustled here from practice. I can tell you that even though we have a small group, we have the right group. They're focused, they're working hard, and right now we're learning what is needed and what it takes to be great. There are many choices we have to make to become great. And the first one we're working on right now is, can we work hard every play, every day, physically, mentally, and emotionally? What does that mean? How do we do that? So I just want to tell you that I'm excited for this season, for the journey as we work with this group to make those choices on this climb to becoming great. And we're looking forward to sharing it with you guys and the band along the way. So thank you for having me here tonight. I can't tell you how much the band means to me as a former player and coach, but most importantly to our players and fans. They give us an excited, hyped up team spirit environment. So thank you so much.
You forgot.
All right, Coach Gabriel. All right.
right, let's shift gears now to men's basketball, and just talking about some of those moments of what the band like is. Makes perfect sense. He's a dog for life. He's literally got the W tattooed on him. But also, most importantly, he's a good man, great leader, great coach, great father. His kid's gonna be a hell of a basketball player. And he's a great Husky. Please put your hands together for the great Will Conroy.
You guys know my call, huh? That's how I'm addressed. I love it. When a dog pack does that to me, it wakes me up. Even when I don't feel good and I hear that bark, I know it's time to go. Tone, you took half of my speech away with the 2019 tournament that jacked up, so now I got to go off and whatever. Coach, do they call you coach? How do they do it? They call you coach or?
Sometimes.
Well, I'll tell you guys this. Every time I see Coach Brad, he's always got a smile on his face. He's always encouraging. No matter if we got our butt kicked, we won by 20. Every time I see him, he lights me up. Every time I'm leaving the weight room, he's doing something. I see him walking. He always inspires me every single time. And I remember my first encounter with our band. I don't know if you guys know, there's a movie called The Sixth Man with Marlon and Sean Wayans. And I must have been 12, 13 years old. And the Washington Band was in there. And they did a heck of a job. And so my AAU coach brought me to a Husky game. And I remember they were playing UCLA. Darren Davis, the great Darren Davis, was on the team. And on the way over, the only thing I can remember or think about is the band going to be there? Is the band going to be there? Is the band going to be there? And sure enough, this is back when the track was still around the court. You know, when the track was still around the court, the band was there. And so I was so fixated on the band. And like Coach Leslie said, they have so much to do with us winning and performing. They can literally change the dynamics of a game. And I've seen them do it many times again. You can recognize that bow down song from anywhere you are in the country. They can play it and you're like, oh, some Huskies in the building, where they at? And so that's been great to me. And another thing I think that goes untalked about is the band works as hard as any athlete in the building. They literally put more work in than anybody on the court, on the field, on the softball field, on the track. They work. And so that's a testament to you, Coach. I've literally come here 11, 12 at night, 10 at night, and I'm like, I know I'm the only one here. And you hear a trumpet, you hear a darn, you hear a clarinet or something like that. Somebody's still working right now. And that's awesome because you talk about work ethic, you talk about our core values here as a program, as a school. Our band definitely has all of those core values that we speak of, and it's awesome. Also, this is how powerful our band is. How about this? In 2018, we all know our band had a bad accident on the way back to Washington State, correctly? Our band is so powerful that they got the Washington State Cougars band to play our fight song. I don't think no one else can get Washington State to do anything that's Huskies. And you guys did that. And they were pretty darn good at it, which means they're copying us. Like they always do. Just like Oregon. But once again, hopefully we have a really good year. And I just remember in 2005 when we were the #1 seed going into the NCAA tournament, I remember coming down in the hotel, and as soon as we got down to the lobby, the band was playing. And all of our players had goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps right now even thinking about it. It's because it's like your army is there. It's like, you're going to go to war, you got your brothers with you, you got your coaching staff, your family's there, But then you come downstairs and there's 50, 60 band members, and you're like, oh, okay, our army is here. We're ready to go. And so that's huge. And I really hope that stuff that doesn't go unnoticed. So we notice it, we care. And so when you asked me and I was rewarded with the opportunity to come speak on behalf of the band, I couldn't turn it down, even though I have a flight to Paris tomorrow that I haven't packed for. But I had to run over here and make sure I said a few words. Coach, you've been awesome ever since I've met you in 2001. It's been the same, your energy hasn't changed. I know your players feel it, and that's probably why you're still here and doing it for a long time. And I know you guys will continue your success, and anything we can do to help you, just like you help us, we really appreciate you. Thank you.
The great Will Conroy. All right, we've got head coach Kalen DeBoer getting ready to come up. But before we bring up the head coach of the Dogs, the 10th ranked Dogs, according to the new AP poll that just came out earlier today, we want to bring up Barry Erickson for a special auction item because we've got a signed Kalen DeBoer football. That's going to be our first live item of the night right now. Barry, come on up here. Barry Erickson, Captain Husky, everyone.
Well, that was about 40 pounds ago, I think. 40 pounds, 40 years ago. There actually is a 3.0 this year. We've got a Captain Husky 2.0 just retired, and a 3.0 coming in. He's got a debut performance against Boise State. I think you guys know how this goes, but for those that don't, we've got a signed autograph football. From
Not signed yet.
But it will, because it'll be personally customized by the coach. And I just spoke to the coach. You saw me whisper on when I came by. It's not just a football. The coach tells me that he may come over to your kids or your grandkids' birthday party as a little surprise. He also told me he'd like to start recruiting at a young age. So if you have any grandkids playing youth football up here, Peyton Hale, he's going to come and maybe do a little coaching job too. Isn't that right, Coach?
Throw it all in there.
Yeah, all of it's coming in there. He'll hand deliver it to your house. So actually, he's going to toss it to you, and he'll give you a 1-hour lesson on how to throw a spy roll. Although there are some clarinet players here, so I'm not sure if that'll work. If you're a clarinet player, you better get ready for tonight. Anyhow, we have a value on this ball of $1 million in the marketplace. But we'll settle for something a little bit less. So let's see who's the king of the west side, who's the king of the east side, and starting out with $100 for this ball. At bar five, like I said, $500. Keith Bruce, the big man in the back. Somebody show up, Keith Bruce. Is that you, Keith Bruce? Somebody show up, Keith Bruce. We see 550 over here. We see 550. Oh, there you go, 141. Keith Bruce showing you what? 141. Next shot for you, Keith Bruce. 700. I gotta start up my game, Brad. Mr. 141, we have 750 from you. That's 750, Keith. How about 850 from you? Well, Dave comes a guy down here, he's kind of slumped over. You know, he's slumped over. David, his wall is so fat on the left hand side. He's slumped over. Dave, come in. 1200? Oh, 120 is your number, and you're 850. Dave Crum, that's racing. $1,000, Dave Crum. Mr. 141, what do you say? No racer. Wrong say David. 1100. Hey. No racer. And keep 1200. Circle play. Big boy. No racer. 150. That's 100. No racer. Hey, 1,500. I can do 8, right? David? 1400. 15. I tell you what, the racer, coach says, go, come, 2 practices. We're going to 2 hours of final training. He will sell 2 balls, 1,500, 1,500, not to go.
All right, the action's already started, huh? All right, let's turn it over to the head coach of the Washington Huskies, Kalen DeBoer.
I wasn't nervous before I walked in here, but now you guys got me. I don't know if I'm worth that much, but I always tell my kids, right, because I go to auctions now the last couple of years, and you just don't want your kids like putting their hands up for you, those type of things. And don't have a lot of kids in here right now, so you don't have to worry about that. But it's awesome being here, and you guys made me follow Will, really, like Mr. Legend, UW. So I know he did a great job, but I walked in, and there, I think last year was Damon in here last time? I remember I had to follow him. I think it was one of those, and I was like, man, that's a tough act to follow. So it's great to be here, and I just talked with some of the band members out there. It sounds like they had their first little set, and no mistakes, they said, so they're good. There's 0 mistakes. They're in mid-season form, right? Mid-season form, but I had ChatGPT write my speech here, so hopefully this goes well. First time trying it, so figured as we start the season kickoff, try something new. But I had to use that one. I just thought of that when I was walking over here. And we were talking academics and how that's a problem, and so that was in my head. I'm like, yeah, why don't I do that more often? So, but it does seem like just yesterday we were in here, and that was a year ago, kicking this thing off. And so probably at that time, just a lot of different thoughts going through my mind, just trying to live each day and just try to stay one day ahead and make sure the guys were all heading in the right direction and we were organized. But it's been an awesome year. It's been an awesome journey, and a new journey is beginning. A new journey is beginning. And there's great challenges, and we're embracing them and enjoying it along the way. I think first of all, there's nothing better than a great band at a football game. I really mean that. And we are fortunate to have a great band at all our football games. I appreciate it. They're all in there. But the atmosphere, right? When you got that conflict, there's another level of confidence. You walk out, you know that band's gonna be loud. I was watching Pac-12 Network and some of the replays, and way back, years and years ago, and those same traditional, timing of songs, and I love it. That's what great programs have, is they have that tradition, those traditions that last. And so, the ones I'm talking about, also when not to play too. Like an educated band knows when not to play, when the offense is on the field. I love that too. You never know going into a new place. I've been places and you're trying to get the ball snapped and your band's playing and stuff. And so I appreciate the sound, but I also appreciate how educated we are. So end the game in the end zone is always a special time for us. You guys, the band, did an awesome job of getting Rome to come back, Rome at Doomsday last year. I mean, it was that experience alone that brought him back, I promise you. So I saw that, I went back and looked at it because I was thinking, okay, I remember Rome was leading band. I was like, I Googled Rome at Doomsday, band, Alamo Bowl. And it said, what did it say? It said, Rome at Doomsday lead the band. And I'm looking, and Rome's hands are not going even close to the same rhythm. As the band is going. So I'm like, I think the band is leading Rome with Doomsday. So, but we'll let Rome think what he wants. So, but that was good. So, no, seriously, our football team, we appreciate everything that we get. Making the atmosphere just super special. Game days at Husky Stadium are amazing, and I can't wait for this fall. We don't take it for granted, I promise you that. And, I have a greater appreciation. I was just thinking about this too earlier today. I have 2 girls, okay? And one's gonna be a senior, so she's a junior, and one's a 6th grader, gonna be a 6th grader. And they each had to take an instrument in a class, okay? And my youngest, violin, and in 5th grade, and then my oldest, guitar. Now the guitar, she was okay, she's older and stuff, but man, it was a little over the top at sometimes, the practice sessions. Finally I got to the point, okay, let's see if we can just knock this out at once, and we tried to get them to play the same song. That was not going, that was even now the challenge is on to try to get them together, and they're taking on that challenge, and just, I appreciate them, but I have a great appreciation for music, and it's something, I think music, when you walk on a football field or walk anywhere, I guess, you walk, play it in my office, right? It makes your day. There's just something to it. And so, I appreciate that. Together, hopefully we have many more memories. I want to see us down at a conference championship. There's a lot of things and moments that are going to happen before then, but a conference championship, a Rose Bowl, right? A Rose Bowl, which would be a semi-conference game, and hopefully a national championship game. But we won't get ahead of ourselves, but we're excited about this season. And if you followed our team at all, you know that continuity is probably, and consistency is probably one of the big words for us right now. Just continuity with coaching staff. We have every member of our coaching staff back. We have all of our players that kind of had a draft grade and could have gone on. They all decided to come back. From Michael Clemens to Frank Conley, so all those guys, it was about 7 or 8, and just kind of the culture just kind of became contagious, and they almost kind of felt like they didn't want to miss out on the special moments that we're hoping will happen here this fall. Yesterday we had fans just kind of thinking about how people have embraced a guy like Michael Penix. We had our fan appreciation out here in the middle of the stadium after practice yesterday, and I'm about the 30-yard line. I think Mike was about the 5, and I'm just going to town. I'm signing autographs and taking pictures. I'm working hard, and I look over, and I'm like, my line is really long. And then I look over, I saw Mike's line, and Mike's line was twice as long. And I'm competitive, and I want the longer line. So I started asking all the little kids that come up to me, how old are you? Where do you go to, asking a lot of questions to slow things down a little bit, so my line can build up a little bit more. No, Mike's great with the kids. He's great with them. So, yeah, there's little tips and pointers you can take from these guys. So, but our theme is us versus us, and our Unity Council came up with this the end of the summer. I put them in charge, about 15 guys that meet regularly, and they, I had some ideas. I got like 4 or 5, and I'm trying to direct them in a certain way. I kind of got what I really like, and this is not the one I had, okay? And 2 guys, literally, opposite sides of the room, pretty much said the same thing at the exact same time. And they said it, and I was like, yeah, I know exactly what you need, because it's us versus complacency. It's us versus all those things, the outside noise, and us versus ourselves, as far as just sticking together. And so I thought it was just an awesome theme. Our guys live by it. They're super tight. They're competitive and out there, the offense versus defense during fall camp. We've only got 10 under our belt, and we have 15 more. Maybe 7 or 8 of those will be getting ready for Boise. But the next 8, they're going to be ready when that's over with to not be hitting each other's heads and play someone else here very soon. So, but we're less than 3 weeks away, and can't wait. This week, I don't know. I'm sure you guys have a rigorous schedule outside this week. If you look at the forecast, 91, 89, 88. We're going full pads Tuesday, full pads Thursday, full pads Saturday. And this is the biggest week for us, and I talked to the guys and challenged them that way, because next week we'll start kind of leaning into a few things with getting ready for Boise and a few final touches. So it's a big week for us. I think your off season's when the team's made, and these weeks in fall camp where you're in the grind. They call them the dog days, right? And being a dog, right? We know exactly what that. So the dog days of fall camp, we're right in the midst of that. So we're handling it great so far, and I'm excited to see kind of what happens in the days ahead. So, but again, consistency, continuity makes my job a lot easier, and just you know what to expect, and you can always be forward thinking, just always not having to backtrack and reteach, but you can be critical. You can analyze, and everyone's on the same page and understanding why we're making these changes, adjustments. And so I'm excited about, the little things that we'll do moving forward. Maybe things that people don't see on the outside, but things we know that we're doing inside to be better. So we tell our guys that the coach's job is to teach, critique, and demand, and our player's job is to grind, refine, and compete. And we do a great job of coming together and make sure all those things happen. So, not even going to get in. I know if I asked for questions, we'd be saying, what about Pac-12, Big Ten, right? All that good stuff. But, I mean, this is our last year in the Pac-12. And, you know, this is a conference that's got so much amazing history, tradition, big games that this program's been a part of in all areas, right? Not just games, but all events and memorable ones. And, you know, I've promised our football alumni that we'll always continue to, you know, hold those memories, hold those accomplishments very high, you know, and not lose sight of what came before us. But I am excited about what lies ahead. You know, I'm excited about the new challenges, and it will be different. It will be different. And I know our athletic department and our whole community and, you know, we'll all work together to make this a great new venture going forward. So I'm excited about that step. But yeah, it's going to be a crazy season. First of all, first before we get to that, with, you know, 5 teams in the Pac-12 that were ranked in the top 25 that just came out. Really, I think almost in the top 20 maybe. So the challenge lies ahead. It's going to be an awesome year. So I'm not sure how long I had, so I don't know if there's questions. If we had time, if we don't, I mean, I can take 1 or 2 if that's the case. Otherwise, I do have one other presentation I want to quick make too. So take 30 seconds. Anything?
Go ahead.
Take 1 or 2 questions. This is great. I love this crowd. You guys made my day. So.
Band has your back.
I know you do. I appreciate it. I would like to make one presentation as I step off the stage here. If I could have you come on up. So in our program, last year to commemorate the season we had challenge coins made. And for the 2022, we finished the season ranked number 8. Our theme was No Limits, and has our games against, of course, Oregon and Washington State on here, what the scores were. We won't forget those. And this is something that I carry in my pocket during game days, and, you know, the challenge coin, I might come up to you, you know, maybe in the middle of 3rd quarter or something, it's tight, see how you're doing, see if you got yours. So we appreciate you guys. So, thank you. What else?
So before Coach leaves, a little story about Rome getting up to conduct the band. So of course we just beat Texas, great win, and he comes running over to me, Coach, should I conduct the band? And you never know what's going to happen when a football player brings over us. So he said, I'd like to conduct. I forget, he obviously knows the songs you're playing, but it was one of our hardest songs. And I'm like, Rome, how about we stick with Louie, all right? So he gets up on the ladder, and like Coach said, his arms were just going everywhere. And the band, half of them are playing, half of them are laughing, but they're loving the fact that he's up there. So tell Rome he can conduct the band anytime he wants, but he just needs to practice to conduct them. Thanks, Coach.
2 and 1.
How y'all doing? That's awesome. So, mind me if I sound a little bit delirious. I just had a pretty high octane performance right there. So I'm gonna try to keep myself in check. But just like Dr. B. Davis said, I'm the senior drum major, one of the three. Ahmed Bello. This will be my 4th year in band, and in school I'm learning neuroscience, major in neuroscience, and then minoring in classical studies. Thank you. And then as a part of the Husky Marching Band, before becoming drum major, I was part of the baritone section. And if you don't know what baritone is, thank you. But if you don't know what a baritone is,
imagine like a much bigger trumpet or a smaller front-facing tuba. Anyway, so I'm just here to talk about my experience in the Husky Marching Band for these past 4 years. And to start off with, I think the Husky Marching Band has pretty much molded my entire college experience. From the first day of preschool drills, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., to actually being there on game day, walking to Husky Stadium. And along those years, I've had so many opportunities to build long-lasting friendships, had opportunities to travel out of state and hopefully out of country soon. And then also, a great part of it is that it's kept me in shape because marching a pregame and halftime show for how many ever games we have each season is not an easy thing. So, for example, I actually had a pep band that I conducted yesterday at the Seahawks training camp, and that's up in Redmond, Washington. And although we didn't get to see any Seahawks players, I did get to see Dubs, which was awesome. But opportunities like that are really special, and I know I wouldn't have gotten that experience without the Husky Marching Band and without your support, especially, where's Jerry? Jerry, thank you so much. But thank you to everyone, seriously. We appreciate everything that you give, and it helps us be a proud member of the Husky Marching Band. And what I mean by that is, I have this specific memory of lining up for pregame, the show we do before kickoff, of just seeing the Husky Stadium lined with fans, just screaming. And of course, there's the fans that are away, so they're screaming something else. But walking in and seeing that, I got a rush of adrenaline. I was so ready to perform and present myself to the whole Husky Stadium and to all the fans. And with your support, it helps cultivate that motivation. You can see I'm getting amped up right now, but being able to do these performances and show kind of the result of that support and how we want to give back to y'all and show you how much we've been doing, what we've been doing behind the scenes, and how that shows in the shows we put on, that's an amazing thing for us. And I want to say thank you again so much for your support.
Next, we go, besides Husky sporting events, we take a small contingent of the band out on the average into the community over 70 times, okay? And it's generally just volunteered by the students, whoever is available. I guarantee this young lady probably does 60 of those 70 gigs. And I'd like to introduce to you our trumpet co-section leader this year, Grace Remendowski.
This is an amazing night. Y'all have done so much for the band tonight, in the past, and hopefully in the future. Hopefully. So to start with the typical band introduction that we usually do at the start of preschool drills. Name, major, year. What would you wear on your feet if you didn't wear shoes? So, my name is Grace Remendowski. I am going to be majoring in informatics with a minor in music. I'm a 4th year in school and band, and I'm going to be trumpet co-section leader this next year. Yeah. And I would probably have to say I would wear 2 loaves of bread on my feet for a little snack on the road, So a little background of me getting into HMB. When I was looking at colleges, one of the main things I was looking for was a good marching band, and at the top of my list was University of Washington, even above Ohio State. I know. But unfortunately, I was so excited. But the year I graduated high school was 2020, and that's when COVID hit. And so I auditioned, I still got into the marching band, but then they announced that there wouldn't be an in-person season. So what the rookies were subjected to was online marching band. In our dorms, I had to put on a show for my roommate every single week, learning the hip thrust for Louis, shimmy for Mambo, lead with the chest, not with the shoulders, and try and march 8 to 5, where there wasn't even 5 yards of space in my dorm room. It was a nightmare, but it was fun. But then I had a full year of online, and then I got to perform in my first pregame and halftime show. And then I realized, oh, I'm going to be hip thrusting the Louis, shimmying to Mambo, and marching an 85 in front of thousands of people and in multiple different states when I'm traveling around, which is crazy. And traveling with the Husky Marching Band and doing gigs is so fun. And I would have to say my favorite trip was probably San Antonio. You know, going through the San Antonio River, doing a battle of the bands versus the other band on the boats. The energy, there's nothing that can top that. Never forget the Alamo. And, you know, as Dr. McDavid was saying, I've done a lot of trips, a lot of gigs. The single away trip that I missed this past year was the women's Pac-12 basketball tournament, and that's because I was going on the men's. But speaking of the Pac-12, RIP, thank God we're keeping the Apple Cup this next year, because I don't know what I would have done if we didn't have that rivalry. But overall, my experience in Husky Band has changed my life forever. There's so many connections. I get to meet hundreds of people, like hundreds of new people every single year, learn new things about them, form new connections, and I'm so thankful that all of you are here to support this and to support the future of Husky Marching Band and to support the events, the culture, and everyone thrive here in a way. So we couldn't have done this without you. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Good job, Grace.
That's why I have so much respect for the seniors that came in with Grace. Can you imagine what they jokingly call Zoom band? And that's entirely how they spent their freshman year. Was me meeting with them twice a week on Zoom, having them show me how they learned their dance steps at tequila or whatever, knowing that they were never going to do it in Husky Stadium that year. So a lot of respect for this year's senior class. So thank you, Grace.
Thank you all for supporting the Husky Band and for coming tonight. The season opener coming up September 2nd against Boise State, right here in the greatest setting in college football, just 19 days. We can't wait to see you. We can't wait until we see you then. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. Go Dogs!
Nice job. Well, you guys are great, as always. Nice job, nice job, nice job. Good job. Oh yeah, nice job, nice job. Yeah, isn't it something you can actually see yourself on this board? Nice job. Weren't you on the boat?
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Let's go, Huskies.
Good job. Boom. Hey, Sergeant.
See you later, man. We'll see you in a few weeks.
All right. Bye.